All right, everybody, welcome to week 39, week 9 of the Sam Hain and Panhandle Strongest programming. What you're looking at here is floor pressing. I went all the way from 205 by 2 to 245 pounds by 2. And just kind of playing some camera work here to make me look fancy. Some notes about my overhead movements. They are going to be severely limited for quite a while. I plan on making a separate video, but what I was told for years was tendinitis I later found out was a torn labrum, and I'm going to make an update video because the plot thickens, and as it turns out it is significantly worse than that. So expect that video to drop probably sometime in early October. I'm just going to talk you guys through what's going to be happening with my training. But here we're looking at some rest, pause, push, press. So the way this works is, of course, you press as many times as you can with a 50 to 60% weight, which for us is 135 this day. Push as many times as you can, rest 30 seconds, grab the bar again 30 seconds later, and press for a set of 4. And as you can see, my lockouts were getting pretty weak there towards the end. I've been trying to work on my grip work a lot more, so what you're looking at here is some grandfather clock pull-ups using a 30-pound kettlebell. And then, of course, we're just going to go ahead and finish off these shoulders with an awesome case of kettlebell single overhead, pushing, pressing, and these little reverse fly thingies. Basically, just some assistance, which brings us to day 2. Day 2 was a paused safety squat bar squat, 3x3. Supposed to be right around 8.5 RPE. I ended up working up to a 340 pound by 3 for my third set. But these actually felt really good. I was really happy with my squat, the way it was going. I'm trying to narrow my stance slightly when I'm using a safety squat bar or when I'm doing a front squat. I just think that with my more vertical torso in those particular movements, I'm able to get my feet closer. And when I'm able to get my feet closer, the lift tends to go a little bit better. For low bar squatting, just because of how far I bend over, I still feel like I got to have a little bit wider of a stance. But as you can see, these movements are going nicely for me. Maybe a little longer of a pause would be nice, but still better than no pause at all. After some pause squats, went on to some Romanian deadlifts using my sweet trolley arms for my lift off here, and you're looking at 365 by 3 across the board. These are strapped in because they were programmed as strapped in, and I think I prefer them strapped in because, you don't need to work grip on everything, and I'd rather be able to concentrate on getting a vertical shin and a good back angle than have to worry about my grip the whole time. After that, went up to these barbell step-ups. I started at 135 by 5 per leg and ended up going up to 185 for the other 2 sets. And I'm working on this knee kicky thingy at the end. I think the knee kicky thingy is just kind of nice. It helps me carry that momentum from the floor coming all the way up. And it also forces me to be more balanced as I go down. Speaking of balance, look at these sweet sort of standing ab rollers. I'm still dropping to a knee on them, but definitely trying to take ab rollers to the next level. I'm going to be some next level ab rolling coming up here. Maybe not quite Juji level, but, just shy. That brings us to day 3, which axle clean and press, and this was a press. We tried to treat all these as presses, no jerking allowed, although I do tend to cheat when the moment arises. Started at 165, worked my way up to 185. This is also Wednesday of the week. So the next day, I had the opportunity to go down to Dallas and meet my surgeon, who's going to be performing my surgery coming up. And again, look forward to that video dropping sometime in the beginning of October. But as of this day, I was still kind of like carefree, like, oh, whatever, it's just a small tear in the labrum, no big deal. It's really not that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things. Obviously, whatever was wrong with me is wrong with me in this video. But I just don't feel like pushing it and having something really catastrophic happen. But anyways, I ended up going up to 185 pounds, just kind of kept it light, and like I said before, I was trying to keep it as a push press and not a jerk. After that, moved on to some Swiss bar incline benching because I can. Started at 185, went up to 200 pounds. These are all sets of 3. And look at me with the fancy editing work in this awesome free app that came with my computer. I am so cool. Oh my God, the weights just changed. It's like magic, and you guys are just blown away. This incline bench has been nice though. The rep bench is awesome. No real complaints about it other than the wobbliness. And one of these days I'll stop talking about making a video and actually make a video about how I fixed my wobbly bench. After that, did some preacher curls and some tricep pushdowns. And these are supposed to be light, so they're only at 50 pounds by 12 and then 35 pounds by 20. Which brings us to day 4. This is the first day that I started to turn down the intensity. I know it might not look like it with that 425 pull by 2, but it was dialed down. I'm not strapped in, I'm just alternating grips here. But at this point, I had the news of what was actually wrong with me. I was super happy with the Air Force for being so great at having a good healthcare system that's, so thorough and how it treats us active duty personnel. It's all the civilian doctors I went to that caught everything wrong with me. So thank you, civilian docs, for actually catching what's wrong. And 225 pounds, moving pretty good here on front squats. And realistically speaking here, people, I am just keeping it light. I'm not trying to go for anything heavy. And that's probably the way it's going to be for the next while until my surgery occurs, and then for about 6 months after that. But after some sweet front squats, I moved on to some single-legged kettlebell Romanian deadlifts. These things are just awesome. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm trying to keep my hip from turning the wrong way, trying to keep my balance. These things are humbling. I'll tell you what, if you haven't tried one of these, go ahead and give it a try. You probably do better than me. But anyways, that is week 39. Really not much else to report. I do appreciate you guys watching the video if you are in fact still watching at this point in time. And I look forward to seeing you sometime in week number 40. Also, please subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and like some other videos. Give me some watch time. Give me some love. I'm going to need it. I'll see you next week.